testing calls is nothing new. This season seems to be a bit more back and forth between the refs and some of the name's biggest games. Where do the two sides go from here? Michael Wilbon explains.
I was being a last night. I was being a jerk, you know. He was that one foul at the end wasn't a foul. I shouldn't have slammed the ball down like I did. I wish I could apologize to James because that was definitely out of my character.
Maybe Kevin Durant's admission this week that he acted like a diva, his 180-degree turnabout after his fourth ejection of the season, will turn out to be the NBA's kumbaya moment.
It really all just stemmed from getting called for the carry?
Yes. I deserve whatever the league is going to throw at me.
Whether Durant had it in mind or not, perhaps a my bad from someone of his stature is the extended olive branch the NBA's players and referees need to initiate a desperately needed peace accord. The two sides have been anything but agreeable since December. Draymond Green has asked for the league to replace all the current officials, all of them, with new ones. Referees say the players are reacting with increasing disrespect. Players counter that officials are increasingly unwilling to engage and develop the on-court rapport that characterized player-ref relationships over the decades. The only thing the two sides seem to agree on is that this ongoing beef is threatening to undermine an otherwise hugely popular product. And at the root of this nasty communication is a lack of communication. Asked recently what he would say to a group of referees, one NBA veteran said, "I'd tell them to be more personable." Asked what he'd say to his own peers, the same player said, "I'd tell our guys to be more personable." Perhaps that's expecting too much in a culture where two people sitting in the same car text each other instead of talking. And perhaps that's oversimplifying too. Players yap more than ever about even the most obvious calls. And a younger group of officials is graded in such a way by the league that they no longer have at their disposal the all-important makeup call that nobody wants to acknowledge, but everybody knows existed and helped keep the peace. So officials feel the pressure from players and the league. But as one coach said, searching for perspective, quote, "When I started thinking players and referees had reached a point of no return, I remembered Dennis Rodman and Rasheed Wallace. And thought we can probably recover from this too."
The NBA announced a program to address the relationship between players and refs. There are 5 main points, which includes the refs conducting meetings with all 30 teams before the All-Star break and re-emphasizing the respect for the game rules. Jalen, do you think that the two sides can actually fix their issues this season?
I think they can. I think they will. There hasn't been a major spike in the number of technicals, the number of ejections as we've seen in the past. It's just behavior of players is much more demonstrative. And I have a couple of theories. One, the NBA has created so many stars that each player feels like they should get star and superstar treatment. The second thing, there's so much testosterone happening during an NBA game. You need to take it out on somebody. We used to yell at each other. They don't yell at each other.
That's a great point.
They yell at the officials.
It's a great point. That's great. And I agree with you. I think that it's going to work. Just to be able to bring the attention to it, bring both sides together and say, listen, what do we have to do here? I like that y'all have my guy Sheed on there a couple times.
Sheed!
One of my favorites of all time. It wouldn't work with Sheed, that's for dang sure. I almost hoped he'd get a text so he'd focus in on the game.
No.
But that's another story for another day.
That's something else.
But I agree that it's going to work out.
Wait, do you think it's going to work out
good.
through talking about it, or do you think they're going to have to do some sort of weird punishment?
Well, there's going to have to be some dialogue.
Okay.
It is. They're going to have to sit down and just talk about what's new, what's different, why now.
Right.
Right. And I think they'll get it together.
Another thing that I think that's really affecting the players is the statement the next day. When they come out with this statement like, "Oh, this should have been a foul that wasn't called the night before."
You don't like the review.
The review.
Yeah.
Because like me as a player the last couple of years, when I seen the review and I heard about it, I was like, that cost us a game. So now I'm angry and I'm like, man, these refs, what's going on? You don't even want to see that as a player. You're like, I knew I didn't foul him, but it cost us the game.
And now it's confirmed.
And now it's confirmed.
Yeah.
You know, I think that angers the players more, angers the player attitude towards the ref a little bit more. And so I think they should get rid of that memo the next day about the mistakes or the corrections.
Because if you lose an argument knowing you were right, and then you're confirmed that you actually won the
Right.
argument, and you knew the whole time, I would imagine that's more frustrating
That's
than
absolutely
leaving it.
But this dialogue that's going to take place is why Adam Silver is doing a terrific job with the league, understanding
is.
that he needs to fix this and fix it fast. And their NBA Cares program is amazing, does so many great things in the States and internationally. But I wish fine money and tech money that occurred by a certain team stays in that community.
Absolutely.
Then at the end of the year, that team shows up multiple places with a big check and give it back to the neighborhood. I was rooting for you guys to win the championship, but also would have been rooting for you guys to get those technicals like Rashid, Ben, you and Rip were getting. And imagine if y'all could have presented that to the neighborhood.
Well, guess what? We were in the top. It was 5 of us in the top 7.
There we go.
Getting texts.
There we go.
That would have been a lot of money for the city of Detroit.